Joining me for today's Options Insight is Mark Sebastian. He's founder of Options Pick, coming from the CBOE in Chicago. Mark, you know, we had this jobs report. We saw a big reaction in the Treasury market, and stocks are kind of shrugging. We're not seeing much movement in the VIX here. What gives?
Yeah, you know, kind of a weird day. You know, on the open, things looked a little ugly. It looked like the S&P maybe had a real chance of having one of those down 1 or 2% days, kind of all the major indexes. And I think as the market looked at it, they kind of said, you know what, this isn't that good. It's more of a meh number. And so that's why we're seeing volatility come in. And indexes, you know, oil recover. Interest rates are starting to recover a little bit. The S&P's gotten back to flat. We're really seeing everything go from this is bad to this is meh. And that's why we're seeing kind of this kind of tepid volatility today.
Huh, interesting. We are seeing a little bit more action in oil today. We had an OPEC meeting, of course, and the decision was no decision to keep the production quotas unchanged. Interestingly on that, we saw oil spike because those quotas didn't go up, but then it's come back down. What are you seeing there in terms of options activity?
Yeah, you know, there's been a lot of trading up and down. Oil was down a lot this morning and has since recovered. You know, Goldman was out with a really curious note on oil volatility yesterday, saying that they thought that the OVX, which is the volatility, the VIX of options on USO, was a little low. And then, you know, as I looked at oil itself, it seemed, you know, like it wasn't moving very much. So the trade I like selling strangles in USO. I don't think oil is going to be doing very much in the next couple of weeks. I would sell the July 18 put and the July 21 call, net credit around 70 cents. As long as oil stays between 17.30 and 21.70, I'm sitting pretty. I think you're going to see the OVX, the VIX of oil, continue to come in, probably be toward 25 by the middle of July.
Oh, quick note about USO, though. I'm just curious, and very, very quickly here, why you chose this particular ETF, because it doesn't track oil always that closely.
Yeah, well, you know, it doesn't track oil that well, but its volatility tracks oil extremely well. So,
Gotcha.
You know, it typically doesn't move quite as well as oil does, but it does a decent enough job, and on a day-to-day and short-term basis, it does great.